realism?
It's a very common MMO trope, to be honest. So it's just
That's
like...
not what I asked you. I asked you,
I know
how does that sit with your realism? If we can't draw penises on planets, how are you okay with things just suddenly reappearing as bases respawn?
Oh, I'm okay with us not drawing penises on planet, because I also accept that this is a game that we're playing, and they've got to live in the real world.
Uh-huh.
So I'm alright with this. And I'm okay with them not drawing penises on planets. You're the one who wants to draw willies on the place.
Not particularly. But anyway, let's move on. We'll be able to... Talking about drawing penises on planets, you'll be able to decorate your SRVs. So what, they're trying to get even more money out of us, and the fact that we're going to have decals for our SRVs?
I wouldn't be at all surprised by that, no.
And are we upset about this, or are we happy with this model of revenue generation?
Any money that Frontier gets is a good thing. If anyone wants to be stupid enough to go and buy a gold Anaconda skin, not stream, then if they can spend £10 and get themselves a gold Anaconda skin.
Yeah, and how does that feel, Ben? How's that golden Anaconda skin for £10 working out for you?
Shiny. Very shiny.
Or as was it Jarvis or Colin this evening put it, you've just spent a quarter of the amount it would spend to upgrade to Horizons on a piece of paintwork.
I see it as an investment in that I got Horizons back in the beta and I didn't give them 130 quid. I only gave them 84 or something like that. So I'm just happy to shove them a couple more quid as and when.
Yeah, okay.
So, Ben, with your gold Anaconda, I kind of picture you like one of those rappers that has like a pair of gold guns or something.
I want a chain or something.
Like a metal grill for your teeth or something.
I want all that, I agree.
Okay. Right. Let's talk about the stream tonight. Unfortunately, I think it was only Colin that managed to catch most of it. So, Colin, can you give us a quick rundown of what stuff was actually showed this evening?
I think he's gone.
I saw a lot of it as well. Right, came in and we saw some really nice... Not the landing, but Adam was basically skimming over the planet. So basically when you come in and you can see the planet, and it was a really small planet and some lovely horizons, pun not intended. But then as you get below 75 meters... then the terrain radar pops up, or the terrain radar will also pop up if you lower your landing gear, and that's when you see what's below you. But then once you've got that, then you'll see your ship in relation to the land below you, and when it goes it looked like a light blue or something like that, then you're in a supposedly safe location to drop down and land. Which I thought that seemed to be very intuitive and make a lot of sense. I picked up that, hey, we can land on this when it goes green, and then when it goes red again, then or goes orange. Yes, you don't want to land here, it's not safe. He didn't go and land. They're definitely hiding the transition from landing on a planet and hiding the transition of the Scarab coming out. So that's going to be some reveal that they do at some point, because everybody was asking, I want to see the ship landing, I want to see the Scarab coming out, and Ed is just blatantly ignoring all those requests.
And do you think that's because it's going to be an exciting reveal? Like, I should imagine the ship touching down could be quite an exciting reveal, but I thought the transition from your ship into the Scarab was going to just be a blackout screen. I thought that had been confirmed.
I don't know if that's been confirmed or not. I mean, it might be a fade to black, but for whatever reason they're not wanting to show it yet, so...
Possibly because Fade to Black's quite boring.
Possibly because Fade to Black's quite boring, but if they did that, then why not just show it and say, okay, we've got a Fade to Black screen here because you're not getting out your screen and walking out. So I just don't know.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah, we don't know, and until they show us, all we can do is guess.
Okay, so what were they showing you in terms of sort of mission content or activities or points of interest? What was the format of the stream, and what sort of things were revealed?
So the first thing they did was them flying around and showing off the landing radar and things like that. Then they went off, and Adam went off and assaulted a base by himself. so they couldn't get the multiplayer stuff working, or they just didn't have anybody who wanted to play with Adam. I don't know.
Okay, so he went off with a standard layout in his SRV, and it was a big base, small base, cardboard box. What was it?
They flew over, and it was like a ship graveyard kind of idea.
Okay.
So there was like a crashed or a deposited Type 9 and Anaconda there, and the idea, I guess, is that some pirates or somebody, whoever's captured these ships, have gone off and they've put up some defences around them because it's their salvage and not yours. So that seems legitimate to me, I guess. And they've got these scarabs there defending your attack. And he went in, and there was 4, I think it was, flying things that, frankly, in the little screen that I had, because I was looking at the chat as well, looked like about 5 pixels that kind of zipped around the screen like a mental thing. And Adam was having a lot of problems trying to shoot them down.
Right.
And they're definitely flying very nicely. They've got some good evasion going on there. I wouldn't be at all surprised if I found out that the Mistress of Minions has been doing some work on these things.
The Mistress of Minions?
Sarah Jane Avery.
Right, okay. So when I saw it on the screen, he targeted a few of the sentries and blew them up, and actually got a bounty on his head from doing it.
I noticed that as well, yeah.
Does that mean to say that these salvages are sort of legitimately supposed to be there? They have the license, and you're basically trying to pirate it?
I guess it could be any of this, couldn't it? It could be... But you got to remember, even in the main game that we've got at the moment, then I can be pulled out of Super Cruise by a pirate, and if I shoot him before I scan him, I'll still get a bounty on my head, even though he's wanted. So it could just be that he didn't scan it quickly enough and open fire a little bit too fast. I also got Commander E-Pilot 007 is saying that Ed said during the live stream that he liked the transition between the ship and the SRV. So...
Yeah, maybe Ed loves a bit of fade to black, you know?
He might... No comments.
Could be a Metallica fan. Was it Metallica who did Fade to Black?
You're asking the wrong person there.
No.
Who did Fade to Black? Or am I thinking of something completely different?
You might be thinking something completely different. There's Back to Black, which is Amy Winehouse.
No. There's
Fade
a
to
Fade
Grey?
to Black. No. I'm sure there's a Fade to Black.
Anyway.
Moving on. Okay, so...
Black, ACDC?
Yeah, Back in Black.
That was a good
Back
song.
in
I
Black.
like that, yeah.
Speaking about Back in Black, Colin's back. Colin, you disappeared. Now you're back. Excellent.
Yes, sorry about that.
That's quite all right. We're just talking about the stream this evening before we came on air. Did we see anything else in terms of points of interest along the way? Were there any sort of side missions that you could pick up, or was it literally just the sort of the set scenario that they were showing?
I think it was the set scenario they were showing. They were showing off the fact that you found wrecks in obviously crashed wrecks in the planet, and you were scavenging cargo canisters, but those wrecks were protected by drones, and you had to deal with those drones before you could get anywhere near the wrecks to pick the cargo up. And for me, that was actually it was quite interesting. There was a lot of complaints on the actual comments saying, "Well, is that all we're seeing?" And you're sort of there thinking, hang on, they've just flown all the way down onto a planet and they're driving about in a buggy, so they've gone from solar scale to planetary scale down to local scale, and you're there thinking, anything more? Geez.
Yeah, sometimes you just can't please everybody, but a couple of things in the chat. Arms Like Noodles has said that Michael Brooks actually called out the fact that there was a bounty deposited on us on the guys as a bug. That's a clear bug that they need to work out. And Fade to Black is indeed Metallica. Simon Moof is calling us musical ignoramuses, which is probably fair, come to think of it. So yes, Fade to Black, Metallica. So okay, anything else, Colin, seeing as you're here, that you saw from this evening's stream that you thought was standout amazeballs?
To be honest, I think I've covered most of my squee moments coming down, especially the actual approach to the planet using the Cobra, that for me. Oh, and obviously the turreted section when they actually started using the buggy to fight. But yeah, the amount of fun that I think we're going to have in planetary and atmospheric flight is going to be fantastic. Although one thing they did mention was that the guns, your gimbaled weapons, will not be able to lock on to any of the buggies. If you want to try and shoot a buggy from a ship, you're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with fixed weapons.
That's interesting. I mean, I know Ben wants to come in with a quick point, so before he does that, what did we see tonight of ships coming in and supporting from the air? Was there any sort of air support shown this evening?
No, there wasn't.
Okay, so that's obviously going to be another release, another stream later on down the line, which you can't really blame them for, but there does seem to be a certain element of drip feeding all the exciting stuff to make it stretch out over the next few weeks until they actually launch the beta. I mean, Colin, did you say you did a straw poll at Fantasticon as to when this beta might actually land?
Well, let's see, there was a lot of murmurings, and it was asked a couple of times by various people in the Q&A, to which we've got the inevitable soon. But I think everybody's thinking, well, if it's going to come out for December, you're probably looking at the end of November for maybe the beta to come out. But that is just pure rumoroids and speculation from the Fantasticon room.
Not far off, though, frankly. End of November isn't that far away now.
No, not at all.
True. A month.
We're talking about 4 weeks or so.
Which should, I can certainly see them being able to I can definitely see them being able to stretch out another 4 live stream episodes with content before the beta goes live. Ben, what did you want to say?
Well, I think one thing that really just made me excited, it's something we know about already, but we saw a lovely demonstration of different gravities between how the vehicles were jumping in last week's stream, where it was in it was about a 1G environment that they were in, and then in today's stream Adam went off and just did quite a little jump, really, and he did 2 barrel rolls and then just kept going down and going down and going down. It felt like he was basically just floating down so slowly, because it was a small planet and a low G environment, and that's the kind of thing that I find I love that idea, and it's so exciting.
So buggies as gliders, then, basically.
Yeah, but it's just showing that the different gravity that the different worlds will have, and I think that's awesome.
Well, yeah, and it'll be interesting to see the different sort of how that affects on gameplay as well. Commander Alien is suggesting that Horizons is definitely going to be into beta in mid-November, a 4-week beta, and then release mid-December for the final thing. So there you go, folks. If it's right, then Commander Alien can take all the credit for it,
and all the blame.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else you guys want to pick up on that?
I think we've covered the awesomeness that has happened tonight on the live stream, and you could tell from the guys who were doing it that they were really a bit smug about showing it off as well.
Well, as they should be. They should be quite proud.
Yeah.
Although, I'm not sure if this sort of thing should be mentioned or not, but has Chris Gregory done something to his hair? He seems to be kind of a bit emo. He seems to be a bit goth all of a sudden. He seems to... I can't completely recall, but I'm sure he was like light hair or blonde, and now he's gone for this sort of very, very dark, sort of almost crow blackness sort of look, which I thought was a bit odd.
Well, considering my fashion sense, I don't think I'm one to comment on anybody else's.
As I have no fashion sense, I feel I'm perfectly able to comment on these things, more out of bewilderment.
I don't think we want to become one of these kind of entertainment weeklies that just comments on what celebrities have been seen shopping, wearing, or something like that. News: women leave house wearing certain type of clothes.
You've been watching too much Fashion Police, haven't you, Potter?
Oh, no. if that was the case, then none of my outfits would be allowed out the house. If that was the case, okay, not a problem. What we're probably going to do then, we're going to quickly go into our community spotlights, which also just happen to be the same community spotlight that Frontier have focused in on, and that is Commander Human, spells Hugh Man, double N, who has done some fantastical musical parodies, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, to a whole host of, sort of in-game Elite Dangerous traits and occupations, which are absolutely hilarious. If anybody's sort of listened to the stuff like the weird Al Yankovic did back in the 80s, and he's probably still doing it now, actually, they're along a similar sort of theme. Now, obviously, our very own, I have to mention this, otherwise the thing will get cut off, so our very own Grant Psycho Cow Walcott messed around with parodies at the beginning of the Elite Dangerous journey. Some highlights being the orange Sidewinder that we all stared at for hours and hours and hours in the alpha. Grant did a parody of "You Spin Me Right Round Like an Orange Sidewinder, Round, Round, Baby, Round, Round," which was a fantastic hit, as was "Please Don't Shoot Me Snuffler," which was another 80s classic. So if you haven't heard those, I'm sure they're still kicking about on the community pages, so you can look those up. But not to do Grant out of any pundits or anything, or any plaudits, but you have to say that Commander Human is an absolutely damn fine singer. And the parodies that he's done are all very well recognisable to songs that you'll all have heard of before. So some highlights: "Learning to Mine" by the Foo Fighters, "You Give Pilots a Bad Name" by Bon Jovi, "Living La Vida Imperia," which is obviously "Living the Vida La Loca," "Uptown Funk" replaced with "Uptown PvP," and one of my personal favourites, "The Great Explorer," as a reworking of "The Great Pretender." Now, these are all available on soundcloud.com/elements_360, so that's ELEMENTZ_360. So go and you check them out there. I'm hoping that Grant isn't going to cut us off, because we've got a few samples of this to play. Grant, are you there?
I think Grant is actually picking his son up from Scouts at the moment.
Ah, okay. I don't think so. I think he's actually just sat in the background saying, no, I'm not going to play them. No, not at all.
Quite possible.
What do you guys think? Obviously, this is one of the community spotlights, but we've been listening to his stuff for quite some time. So, personal favourites?
Oh dear, I have to admit, up until this community spotlight, I'd never heard of him.
Colin.
I actually first heard of him because of he did a really nice radio advert that's for the, I think it was the iDock or something like that, which is basically it's a docking computer advert, and I love that, and that's how I actually first found out about his stuff. He's done, as you say, he's done a whole load of songs, and at the risk of saying anything negative about Grant, who does fabulous stuff, this guy's been in a rock band for 10 years.
I was wondering about his musical pedigree.
You know, he's been in a rock band. He's